Hello my dear friends, you're in the Military Summary channel, and this short video we're going to discuss the most important event that took place during the previous night of the local time. Now we're going to discuss the situation at Crimea Bridge. As you know, during the previous night, the Ukrainians, this night to be more precise, the Ukrainians made another attempt to attack the bridge, and as a result of that attempt, one part of the bridge, one piece of the bridge was damaged and was destroyed, and basically the possibility to use the road, just a regular road, was closed. Nobody, neither from the Crimea side or from the territory of Russian Federation, are able to use the bridge currently. The only thing that people can use is the railroad ways and the trains for some communications between Crimea and the mainland. So let's start. There are a lot of things we will discuss today, and I will give you a very interesting piece of information regarding this situation, because some reliable sources reported that there was a very interesting thing regarding that attack, and you will be very surprised. Stay tuned. So the first updates we got today was at 4 a.m. of local time, 4 a.m. and 21 minutes. The governor of Crimea reported that something has happened on the bridge, and basically the passage, any type of connection was closed, and after 4 a.m. nobody was able to use the bridge. There was no problem with ships. There people were able to use and still able to use ships for transferring them from Crimea to the mainland and so on. And after that we start receiving a lot of updates. So the passage is closed, as we discussed, and somewhere during the day a lot of reliable sources reported about the explosion on the bridge, and after that we start receiving some video and photo confirmations of the results of that attack. As you can see, the bridge was damaged, and one part of the bridge was, and basically the most important thing that you can see on this video, that there was no damage on the top of the bridge, like on the surface of the bridge, and mainly according to this video we see that mainly the bottom part that's located below under the bridge was damaged. So basically most of the sources report that the attack was made using the Navy drone, the same Navy drones that Ukrainians were using yesterday while making another attempt to attack Sevastopol. If you remember, yesterday the Ministry of Defense reported that during the day the Ukrainians made attack using 5 drones and 2 Navy drones. All of them were destroyed, and furthermore the Russians published the video how they destroyed the Navy drones. And later we got more videos from this area, of course, and the most I believe interesting video, this one. This video was made from the railroad ways, and as you can see, one part of the bridge was damaged, but of course now I understand that the Russians, to be on the safe side, will be forced to change at least 2 or 3 pieces of the bridge, trying to, of course, to be on the safe side. So what did happen? Now we're coming to the most important part. According to the Russian sources and according to the video of results, we see that mainly the bottom part of the bridge was destroyed, the part that was under the surface, and 95% of reliable sources are saying that attack was made by the Navy drone. But now we're going to discuss the most important part. Two or three, the most reliable resources, reported that attack against the bridge was made not from the south. So we expected, and when I started watching these pieces of news, I supposed that Ukrainians were trying to attack the bridge using this road. But the reliable sources are saying that at least 1 or 2 drones were heading to the south from Azov Sea, from this area. So, and this is one of the most important parts. So that means that somehow the Ukrainians were able to launch the Navy drone from Azov Sea and attack the Russians in their back, because the Russians were expecting to see the attack, let's say, from the south, from Black Sea, not from Azov Sea. So they, of course, the Russians, I believe, have already created a very powerful defense belt in this area with different types of security and so on. And they expected that Ukrainians will attack from the south, but the Ukrainians attacked from the north. And this is the most important, because there are not many ways how the Ukrainians were able to do this. Of course, the first version is that Ukrainians passed the bridge using some cargo ship, So basically just a regular cargo ship was was moving from Istanbul in direction of, let's say, Taganrog, Mariupol or Rostov-on-Don, and after the ship passed the bridge, then the Ukrainian special forces dropped the drone in Azov Sea somewhere, let's call it in this area, and somewhere there. And after that, the drone attacked the bridge from the north. This is the first option. And if something like this happened, that means that the Russian security is not so good, and they just didn't realize that the Ukrainians are able and that such a situation can happen. But there is another, the second option, which is much worse in comparison with this one. And the second option, if the Ukrainians were able to bring the Navy drone somewhere in Taganrog using the road, using the land, let's say, if the Ukrainians have possibilities to collect the Navy drone and to produce and somehow to bring the parts of the territory of Russian Federation of Navy drone, and then to send Navy drone somewhere from the port, let's say in Taganrog or somewhere else. This is the second option, and of course this is the worst option, because that means that the Russians doesn't have not just like any border or any possibility to control the territory of Russian Federation and so on. I believe that the Russians do have the video satellites, they will see everything. We expect the official position of Minister of Defense of Russian Federation, and of course we expect the response of Russian Federation on this action of Ukrainian side. Of course, everything can happen, some people are joking that as a result of this attack, the Russians will proceed and prolong the grain deal. Some sources are saying that the Russians are not going to do anything, but some sources are saying that during the next 24 hours we're going to see missile strikes against the authorities' buildings in Kiev and all over the entire Ukraine. I believe that anyway the response is going to be, but no matter even the response, this is like the consequences. This is the things that are not connected to the, let's say, the situation on the ground. But when talking about the situation on the ground, we understand that basically the railroad ways, there is nothing happened with railroad ways. So the Russians haven't lost possibilities to support and supply Russian forces using the railroad ways. This is the first and most important thing. As a result of the attack, 2 civilians were killed. So basically, this is a terrorist attack when civilians civilians were killed. It's not a military action, so anyway the Russians should announce and should call this attack as a terrorist attack because of deaths of civilians, and the Russians will be forced to spend another 2-3 months to restore the regular bridge between Crimea and the mainland. So that's it for this short video. Military Summary channel reminds to condemn any violence in Ukraine. Thank you for watching, subscribe to my channel, put your likes, join my Patreon, and have a good day. Bye bye.